What's up guys, Travis here with Upgraded RC. In this video I'd like to show you guys what I did to keep the rod ends from being ripped off the push rod. Now some of you may not be experiencing this problem yet. I didn't experience this until I started getting a little bit more comfortable with my car. I started hitting bigger jumps and having bigger wrecks, and then I started popping these off. The first day I went to a BMX track with one of my friends, I popped 3 of these off in one day. I decided I'd had enough and I started looking around on the internet and YouTube to see what I could find. And of course everybody recommends these hot racing limiting straps, which are great. I ordered mine. It took 4 months to come in, so I wasn't going to wait around for 4 months to be able to drive my car. So I found a different solution. And by the way, when these came in 4 months later, they sent me 105 millimeter. I asked for 90, so they're pretty much worthless. I'm still running on what I used to solve this problem. So this is what I'm talking about right here, guys, is this rod end on the end of the push rod shaft here. It connects to your rocker arm assembly that connects to your suspension. Anyway, off of the bigger jumps and big wrecks, I'm ripping the rod end off of the shaft either here or at the bottom. I've also heard you guys talking about ripping the rod end off the end of the shock. I haven't done that yet, but I gotta tell you, mine feel pretty loose. I'll be replacing them. So after going through this many rod ends, I tried some different rod ends to see if these would be any better. These are the RPM rod ends, they're the longer ones. I wasn't very successful with those either. So then I went ahead and got the shorter rod ends from RPM, thinking they might be better. They're made out of better material. Those weren't bad, but they came off as well. And the other solution would obviously be the limiting straps that I told you were in the wrong size. So let me show you what I did, because I'm not using these, or these. As a matter of fact, the solution to our problem lies inside of our suspension body housing. I'm going to take these apart and clean them up, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Alright guys, so this is what you're going to need to make this happen. This is the Traxxas suspension rebuild kit, part number 5462. It cost me $5. Now this is the suspension rebuild kit that's got the bladders in it, and it's got your 4 different pistons in here with different valving for the dampening. You've got your seals in here, your O-rings. It's got the nuts and the washers to hold the pistons on. It's got the rod ends with the pivot balls, which I'll be using because mine were worn out. And then we've also got these 2 bump stops in here. Now this is what we're after, is these 2 bump stops. It only comes 2 per pack, just so you know, but I'm only putting it in the rear. So let's get these out and I'll show you what I'm going to do with them. So what we're doing with our bump stop is we're going to use it as a bump stop. Now you've already got a bump stop in between the bottom of your body housing and the rod end to keep you from bottoming out or pushing your rod end too far. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and take and put this bump stop on the rod that goes inside your body. So now you've got a bump stop so the piston can't go this way too far, and you've got a bump stop on the bottom so your piston can't go that way too far. It works out really good, guys. I've been running this like this for 4 months with no problem. I can't even tell a difference in my suspension at all. I mean, if you look at it, it's really, look at how flexible this is. I can push that in almost flat if I want to, so if it needs to, it will compress all the way. But during them hard landings and stuff, I'll tell you what, this sure does help. Since I put this on here, I have not had one rod end come off. It fixed my problem immediately. Now I did start with some nitro fuel line. I seen another guy do it on a video, and that worked pretty good for about a month, but when I opened it up to service my suspension, I noticed that the fuel line was all busted up in many pieces. So that's when I decided to go to this bump stop, and I've been on this bump stop here 4 months, and I've had no problems while I'm waiting for my limiting straps to come in. Once they come in, I'll probably keep these bump stops in there because they work so good. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take 1 drop of my shock oil and lube up the shaft here, or the rod. That way when I stick it through the seal, it's not going to rip my seal because it's dry. So after you do that, now you can take your bump stop and put it on contoured side towards the piston, or to the smaller side. That way when it compresses, there's less meat and it can compress easier. Now that we've done that, We can go ahead and insert our rod and piston assembly into the body housing here and out through the bottom of the seal. Once you've done that, you can take and put your cap on the bottom that holds the seal in place. And when I put these on, I only put these on hand tight. A lot of people put them on with pliers and it's just way too tight, guys. So make sure that works pretty good. That works great. Then we can go ahead and put our other bump stop on, facing the same direction, contoured side up towards the body. You slide that down on your shaft. And then wipe your shaft back off. And you can use your shaft pliers and go ahead and screw the rod back on the end here. And just go ahead and make that rod end snug. Don't kill it. You don't want to strip it out. So I don't over tighten it. It's pretty much just hand tight. And check for smooth operation after that. That feels really good. So guys, now we've got a bump stop on the inside under the piston that limits travel outward. And we have a bump stop on this side to limit travel inward. So that's going to solve our problem right there. That's what my solution is, guys. And I mean, it's worked great for me for 4 months. I think it's going to continue to keep on working. I don't know if I'll ever get my limited straps in the correct size, but this is what I'm using for now. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this back up with oil and we'll go from there. So what I like to do is go ahead and fill my body up about halfway with the shock oil here. And then I go ahead and work it back and forth gently to get some air bubbles out of it and get all that oil down in there where we want it to be. And then go ahead and put some more in. And I'll work it a little bit more, get some more of the air bubbles out. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more in here. Almost all the way to the top, not quite. Work it a little bit more gently so you don't spill it. After you do this several times, go ahead and just set it back into your spring and let it sit there and rest for about 10-15 minutes. You'll see all those bubbles come out. Once it's clear there's no more bubbles, then you can add just a little bit more to top it off. Put your bladder and your cap on and you're good. Okay guys, it's been sitting for a little while and you can see now there's no more air bubbles in it. They've all worked their way out and looks like it's crystal clear fluid all the way to the bottom. So now what we're going to do is take our rod and go ahead and pull it all the way out, far extension, as far as you can go with it. That way we can see how much room we have left for fluid. And go ahead and put some more fluid in here and don't top it off all the way to the top, guys. I'd say about 98%. You want to leave just a little bit of room for air. As this works, it's going to create air bubbles that have to go somewhere. And also when I put my top on here, I don't want it to spill all over the place. So then we're going to go ahead and grab our top here in our bladder and gently push our bladder down in here with your finger. And then go ahead and we'll put the cap on. Just hand tight. Let's see if we make a mess. I did not make a mess. So we're good to go. That was the correct level. Just a hair more, I would have had it coming out. And a hair less, well, you could go a hair less if you wanted to. It doesn't matter, but it wouldn't be enough for me. So that's it, guys. Looks like it works pretty good there. Let me go ahead and put this back together. So that's how I remedied this problem for myself, guys. It's been working really great for the last 4 months for me. I've had no problems with it. To be honest with you, I don't really notice the limited travel that I gave myself by putting that bump stop in there. But, you know, if you're going to use limiting straps or zip ties anyway, you're going to limit it anyway. I think it works really good, though. I've had no problems with it whatsoever, and it stopped my problem immediately. Well, that's it, guys. I hope that helped somebody out. I know it helped me out. I'm still waiting for limiting straps. You guys go play. Have a good day. Take some videos and send them to me. If you have any questions, hit me up. I'll answer them for you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Travis with Upgraded RC. Peace out!